Every day we bring you the hottest music. Music makers.
Hey, let me tell you something. The whole pussy belongs to us.
They call him Mr. Well Done.
Boozy, pretty thing and you boozy.
And some outrageous conversations.
You don't even have to go too far. I mean, even today, we have something called traditional healers within all our communities.
Is that like the new name for witch doctors?
No. That's what the white man made it.
You do know that the traditional healers can see us talking about them right now. Right now. In their big bowl of water.
Y'all know the name.
The Morning Mix on Informanté Radio. The sound for a new age.
Cool under pressure.
I'm making you move. Nafa buju muju. Go, I'm a shorty. Jameson is on me. Taco moving slow. Go, I'm a shorty. Look like Nicki Minaj. Might give her a touch, but this is too much. Go, I'm a shorty. Look like Nicki Minaj. Might give her a touch, but this is too much. Sophia, you're the one I'm looking for, Sophia. Offendi conmigo, Sophia. Ande kufala kambo, confia. Sophia. You're the one I'm looking for, Sophia. Offendi conmigo, Sophia. Ande kufala kambo, confia. Sophia. When you shaking that national club, everyone got their eyes on you. Hey, hey, aha. Bad girl, show me what you can do. Hey, hey, aha. Go to Vema, sir. Go to dancer. Go to Rushi, baby. Sophia. She give me insomnia. Sophia. She give me insomnia. Sophia. You're the one I'm looking for, Sophia. Offendi conmigo, Sophia. Ande kufala kambo, confia. Sophia. You're the one I'm looking for, Sophia. Offendi conmigo, Sophia. Ande kufala kambo, confia. Sophia. You're the one I'm looking for, Sophia. Offendi conmigo, Sophia. Ande kufala kambo, confia. Sophia. You're the one I'm looking for, Sophia. Offendi conmigo, Sophia. Ande kufala kambo, confia. Sophia. Pull under pressure. Push it, come on now. Push it, daddy, put your hands up. When you put your hands up. Pull under pressure. Push it, come on now. Daddy, put your hands up. Boom, 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 put your hands up. Pull under pressure. Push it, come on now. Push it, daddy, put your hands up.
Loving local music as always. It is the sounds of Cool Under Pressure. Neville's favorite local band or group.
Hulle ruk my bro.
Yeah, yo.
Hulle ruk.
This one is titled Sophia.
Sophia.
You know?
Awe.
Me Sophia Shaningwa.
Ay.
You did not hear it from me. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome to the morning mix. I did say.
Yeah.
You sound just like her when you say that.
Moro.
How was the weekend?
Ah man.
Is it? What did you get up to?
Oh, okay. Maybe moet ek maar sê man.
Okay.
I might just get divorced.
Oh, jy mag nie nga sê nie.
Nee, because we had my wife's uncle passed away, so we had a family funeral.
Oh, okay.
So it's a bit inappropriate to say that the weekend was man. But we sent the toppy away.
Okay.
So yeah, and so I think at the end of the day we celebrated his life on Saturday. So yeah,
That's good.
so no, that was nah.
Weekend was okay.
Yeah.
Maria is going to be joining us in a short while. We're quickly talking sports this weekend. I didn't watch any Premier League matches. Guys must never league day. But La Liga came to a conclusion this weekend that we played the league played all the final matches yesterday.
Yeah.
Some interesting results from there. I know the Serie A is still going.
Yeah, Serie A is still going, but maybe you can start off with La Liga, like you say.
Okay.
I think Barcelona basically
a good game yesterday.
It was a good game. It was basically the league swan song game for them, 5-0.
Finally, maybe not finally, but yeah, there was some. I don't know. There was some.
They played without the handbrake. That's it.
Yeah, but we are like Arsenal, so consistently inconsistent. Like you play very well one match and then you play average the next two matches, and then you play very well one match and then you play average the next two matches. They sing-song kind of form for this season has been, especially now since after the break. But yeah, Barca won their game 2-0. Real.
Luister, ek het jou opinie gevra hierso.
Nee, okay.
Huh?
Sorry that I said.
Nee, ek het jou opinie gevra hierso. It's Monday. We're supposed to start a week off on a positive note here.
Why are you heartbroken by Arsenal?
Nee.
How did you guys play this weekend?
Can we just finish? Can we concentrate on La Liga and we move from league to league?
Okay, cool.
Did Madrid win the last match?
Madrid drew 2-2 against Leganes.
Okay.
Leganes, of course, were one of the teams that were
relegated.
They were relegated. But if they had won, they could have, fought their way out of the relegation and probably dragged Celta Vigo into the relegation zone. Celta drew them at 0-0. Which means there was no change there at the bottom. So Espanyol, Mallorca, and Leganes have made the drop. I think the story of the season is Granada, who were promoted last season and even qualified for European football for next season. This team was assembled with about 9-10 million euros, and they managed to get into Europe, coming straight out of the second division. So that is definitely the story of this season.
Okay. So can we touch now on England for a while?
Yeah.
Ja, kan jy praat asseblief?
Hoe julle gaan bal?
Kan jy net praat?
I hear a London team beat Manchester United. Was it Arsenal?
Yeah, you see, London this past weekend reigned supreme when it comes to English football. Yeah, Cubase against all odds, like you did say earlier. Arsenal has been blowing hot and cold for such a long time. I didn't bother myself to watch this game on Saturday night because we came from the family funeral on Saturday, and so we were just chilling, and I went to bed early. So I woke up like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and I saw a message on my cell phone saying, "I'll never Gillette Gaven. Congratulations." I'm like, man, you kidding me. Man City of all teams, and it was Man City's.
Oh yeah, it was City Arsenal.
It was Man City's one chance to win a trophy this season.
Yeah.
So, and we completely outclassed them.
It was also Arsenal's one chance to win a trophy.
It's our one chance to win a trophy, but obviously we were not in the running whatsoever to win anything.
Yeah.
So now we're in the final of the FA Cup. We can make it a record 14 trophies. So kudos to our coach.
Mikel.
Arteta has really been turning the fortunes of the team around. And wow, David Luiz was like man of the match on Saturday.
Get out.
I can't believe this. So fast forward, yesterday was
that guy is the epitome of that Arsenal team. When he's good, he's brilliant. When he's not, he's horrible.
horrible.
Jesus.
Then yesterday, Manchester United played Chelsea. Obviously, I think the result would favor if I had to choose to play between either Chelsea or Man United. I think Man United was on a roll until
this result from
David De Gea, what's his name?
De Gea, ja.
Yeah, decided to om sy naam weer Totti te maak.
Het die ene weer in die palle gegooi.
My broer 2 goals he just gave to Chelsea. So it's going to be a London derby on the 1st of August.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that.
Maybe you guys should sign De Gea because he also blows hot and cold. Like,
Hey, toch.
imagine De Gea and David Luiz in the Arsenal team.
Yeah. So no Manchester team can accuse the other one of being a noisy neighbor. I see some noisy neighbor comments here.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I saw
Please.
Inter and Roma were in action last night as well. I was watching a little bit half and half that game. Yeah, I think it ended 2-2 if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. I don't really follow Italian league
There's no
football.
issues with Italian football.
They are the most racist league in the world.
But it's
I'm
the
not.
fans. It's not the
Yeah,
players. The
they-
players are struggling the same as you.
Hulle kan loop ver gaan speel met hulle se sokker. Ek stel nie belang nie. It's boring soccer.
Ek ken nou amper iets.
Jy kan sê as jy wil.
I almost threw a spanner in the works.
Yeah.
And then I remembered, if you get in trouble, I also get in trouble.
Yeah,
We're both on the
exactly.
show.
Yeah.
So it's all right. Let's just leave that one
Yeah.
there.
I see some Lewis Hamilton comments here on the stream. Wow. Okay.
Formula 1 is terug.
Formula One is back.
Okay.
The Hungarian Grand Prix was on yesterday. This guy, once again, going from strength to strength. If he wins it this year, then he will equal the record of Michael Schumacher. So he's got 6 world titles at the moment. Schumacher's got 7. I think Schumacher, if he would be able to say it today, he would, kudos to Lewis Hamilton for equaling the record, if he in fact makes it. But I think in terms of the skill that he shows, Ferrari was supposed to be the other team this year that was supposed to post a challenge.
Now, Hamilton with such a reliable car, as that Mercedes of his.
Yeah.
I think he's impossible to be. I remember before he went to Mercedes, during the era
McLaren.
that Vettel was dominating, right? Lewis Hamilton would start like on 17th on the grid and would end up like maybe behind Vettel or even ahead of Vettel. And he didn't have such a reliable car then. Now that he's got such a stable car, in that I can't remember what they call it, but yeah, I gotta give what Mercedes gebouwd is. I don't see anybody basically unseating him for maybe a season or two still.
Venaflo Njahera. Mora nevala och motirwa.
Motirwa yune.
I'm not scared of anybody.
Nee, vra wie is bang vir jou?
Huh? No, and that's what I'm saying.
Ja.
I'm not scared of you.
Kom my bro.
Bring your team. Kom.
Ons is Chelsea. O Chelsea.
Oh shit. Baie Rero. Oh Chelsea. On your Chelsea.
Yeah. Okay, now
Venaflo by Joe.
So Venaflo, you are a Chelsea supporter.
Yeah,
I'm
muto
assuming.
Chelsea boy.
Yeah. Do you want us to read sports comments before we
Yeah, ho. Read quickly
we
sports
keep it
comments.
moving? All right. Madala Chihuetha Luderitz. Right. Hamilton will pass the record. The boy is young and focused. Yep. Yeah,
I agree.
I cannot disagree with that either. Never Manchester City are still in the Champions League and they won the Carabao Cup.
They won't.
So alle klaar trophies.
They won't. Oh yeah, they have the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
They streetwise to Combo Cup.
Ja, en hulle kan miskien nog Champions League wen. I think they
Hoender Flerkie en Boukie.
they have to get past Madrid, that their second leg against Real Madrid.
Oh yeah, that is coming up.
And then I think their route pits them against Juventus, if I'm not mistaken. That's, of course, if Juventus can get past
Yeah.
Lyon as well.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting. Bayern, I don't know how Barca's going to get past Bayern.
Luister, asseblief. I would love for Barcelona to win that. But with that leaky defense, there's no way.
My guy, we had Arturo Vidal playing at the center of defense yesterday. Right, more comments. Hola la familia, greetings all the way from Otavi. Please don't talk about Manchester. They are still sleeping.
Yeah.
All right, go back to sleep, Red Devils. The hate on Hamilton is big now that he is of Black Lives Matter.
Let me quickly just to stop you there. Again, we sit with a situation now that after not the emergence, but I think the fact that BLM has really gained momentum now after the George Floyd incident in America. Of course, there are sports stars who are coming out and show their support. And Lewis Hamilton made it obviously very clear that he supports the initiative. And with every race, he makes it paramount to kneel before or after the race or whatever.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's not a lot of people who share his sentiment, and there's a lot of haters on him at the moment. But I love the fact that in the face of that, he keeps on winning.
Yeah. Like, look, I have made it clear before on the show here that I have issues with Hamilton winning every race. It kind of makes the sport not so boring.
You would not have a problem if Barcelona wins every cup.
That
Nee,
is-
jy het my gehoor, wat se
That is different.
is
No, that is different.
Let the boy be, man. I love the fact that he's doing so well.
Because if Barcelona wins a match, 9 other teams can also win their matches. If
Yeah.
Hamilton wins, nobody else can win. He's the only winner for that whatever.
Let him win this thing 8 times and retire peacefully.
He's not going to retire now. He's still young. I think he's probably going to get to like 8, 9 titles before somebody. Somebody, miskien 'n kalletjie van Reelbord of iemand.
Waar is die kallet? Op Kalolepe vorentoe.
All right, guys, that is just basically an overview of your sports news for this weekend. Coming back home, of course, Neville se mense het weer gebaklei oor die naweek.
By Maria en Joe.
Die NPL, Namibia Premier League, dis die story dan. Kom ek lees net gou 'n bietjie, net om vir julle, just to give you guys a bit of a background on this one. Yeah, a decision that everyone was dreading was made on Saturday when the NFA expelled the NPL from its structures. The Namibia Football Association, NFA's 16th Extraordinary Congress, moved to terminate the membership of the Namibia Premier League, NPL, its affiliate members, and its executive committee members on Saturday. Now, instead of actually just diving into the sport this morning, we are trying to get a hold of Mr. Trompis, or Dan Kamati, who is the spokesperson of NFA. Maybe we can have him in studio with us tomorrow. We can talk to him telephonically. And then we can pick that thing apart. But
I think the controversy, obviously, with the NFA being the NPL being expelled, is the fact that they don't want to budge on the issue of Orlando Pirates and I believe Civics, who needs to be relegated.
Yes.
Okay, and they feel that those two teams need to be relegated. The NFA feels because of the fact that I think also the first division, there's an issue with who needs to be relegated and who needs to be promoted.
Who goes down, who comes up.
Yeah. So, and the I believe FIFA's position was to side with the NFA.
Now, can you, this is not onnodige power plays that has kept football away from us in this country for over a year now.
Unnecessary nonsense.
That's
right.
And it's affecting on the livelihoods of other people, not just the players, but the coaching staff and al die mense wat by al die verskillende clubs werk. It's just chaos. If I was the Minister of Sport, I would have disbanded both NPL and NFA en dan begin ons net van voor af, want dat is net nonsense daar.
5 omdraai 10 uur ry.
Ja. Alright. Môre Maria. Hoe gaan het met u?
Can't complain. It's Monday.
Gaan dit goed? Alright, hoe was die naweek?
Altijd goed. Rustig.
Weekend
Rustig.
Oh.
What time did you leave on Saturday?
Just after when we walked out together.
Oh, yeah. True.
How did that go, by the way, since you decided to bring it into the fray? You guys had your first soiree with this thing on Saturday.
Soiree.
It's
Hardly called a soiree. It's
for
a
the-
briefing.
Lack of a better word.
Soiree is too fancy.
Just go with
it
the
was
flow.
A briefing. It was the MTC knockout briefing. I mean, they just basically they were just giving us our schedule, answering like questions, advising us on how to respond to perhaps some of the negative media reactions. We're not negative. It must not ek.
Oh, are you getting like flack on social media?
I'm not getting flack. I wouldn't call it flack, but obviously, I'm an activist.
No, you're a soft target. Everybody wants to shoot at you.
Yes, I'm a soft target. Thank you. I'm a very soft target because of the work I do.
Yeah.
So obviously, when they're now, and I was the first announcement, just by the way, on the night of the event, and also on the social media when they started announcing. So I was the first announcement. And obviously the anti-Maria brigade, led by
Maria Jade krag so waar.
I get it crackly, but it's my reality. One day I'll write a book and I'll dedicate a chapter to it. Believe
You know,
me.
if I get so much flack on social media, this bickering goede.
I ignore it. I don't engage it. Okay, I don't engage it. Mostly the people that
But
do
you
it.
see it.
Yeah, not always, because most of the people that do it are blocked. But of course I see it because they tagged MTC and they're like, how could you choose her?
So
There are more deserving people. What did you do, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously they sent it to MTC and they tagged MTC. Apparently MTC should withdraw my participation and so forth. So, what is it?
I don't know what level is reading.
I don't think you realize how destructive it is when somebody's talking and you guys
And
do
you
it
start
a
laughing.
lot.
It's you too.
Yeah.
It's
I
your
don't
turn.
laugh. I just feel it.
Thomas Nekongo.
Yeah.
Good morning, guys. I would like to report a crime. One of your TVs behind Maria is gone.
That TV has been gone for a long time now.
That's very simple. That's that is like.
That's very funny.
You know what was funny for me in the comments? Neville, nga ishitwe. Noli shirera. It's like Lawson's 8 as a belief. When the truth hurts. Herds as in HERDS. You can see as a hero.
I can see I'm jealous of everything.
Okay, man, in any case.
It gets glad. Anyway, so we had the briefing. Yeah, Neville was there. I think they also wanted to understand how we're going to sing
Did you put
music
that
in
up?
other languages. Like some people got like Herero songs and they don't speak Herero, for example.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Tate Buti answered it very nicely. I think.
Wow.
Yes, what did Kia say?
Kijk, Tate Boetie just blew the whale out of the ocean.
Okay, so he'll answer for Tate Buti, but this is basically the question. So we just want to understand. Some of us don't speak some of these vernaculars that we have to sing in. Like, what are we going to do? Neville is there like agreeing, yeah, who salons no mark? Because, you know, he's been paid with it's a Ruka Bango.
Silozi, I think.
Silozi,
yeah.
Silozi. So he's also complaining and he's like, yeah, who mutons no mark? What does Tate Buti say?
My broer, or like you young guys say, my guy. This guy takes the mic, Tati Buti, and he asks us, so how many of you in here speaks Xhosa and Zulu? And nobody puts up their hands. I'm asking again, how many of you here speaks Xhosa or Zulu? I say, no, nobody. Say, okay, there's your answer.
That has never stopped you from singing them.
That has never stopped you from singing this.
Brenda Fast.
No, all these Amapiano songs.
Yes.
And it was the most brilliant answer to this whole negativity that we all have, me included, about singing in a language that I don't understand. Maria, I
Von
still,
Arendt is dan ook Afrikaans, so jy weet ook.
Maria, I have no idea how I will
Die
do this.
mense sal see toe gaan.
Wait, where's the song? Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Did you guys get to hear at least the songs that you're going to perform? I mean, I'm sure you're not going to tell us now.
Mister,
but-
ne?
Yeah.
Maria, I'll go speak to the MTC people. Ne? I'll try and pair you up with a vambo so you can just stick to your
Maria is
language.
net reg. That's all I say.
Afrikaans. Kurwaj.
So anyway, they were just answering some of these things, but I mean, MTC was very clear. They're not withdrawing
Yeah.
anybody. They're used to the criticism, always be backlash. It's not the first time. All their projects, there's always some backlash. So I think if any corporate is used to some attacks,
It's MTC.
It's them.
MTC, yeah. They do shit like we go there for the data, we complain about the numbers, we complain about complain alles.
GBV boxing.
I was also there last year complaining.
Yeah.
Why boxing? It's violent. So yeah, they're used to it. But here we are. So
I need to be out of here 9:15.
How are you coping with DJ Wio? Have you heard any of the songs?
We ran into him, and you could hear the exchange that I had with him.
Very nice guy, though.
Very, very nice guy. And he
Yeah,
kept on, reassuring me, Neville, don't worry about it. It's not that difficult, I'll guide you through this process, etc., etc. So, if we could help Maria, if we could help homeless people to have a roof over their head
because that's the main thing.
after this project, if you and me can go through a little discomfort.
A lot of discomfort.
A lot of discomfort.
Yeah.
I'm more than willing to do
Yeah.
this, and I'll go through it, and it's going to be 2 months of hectic preparations and try to sing in Silozi and Afrikaans.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'll even take the social media text.
Vaughn has a couple
Yeah.
of English songs. Don't forget.
The thing is, I don't choose the songs.
Yeah.
They choose it.
He's gonna choose the hits, 2 songs, and the ones that obviously get the audience going. I have a feeling like since Vaughn is the only white musician in the group, they might have one of the songs in Afrikaans to also
Accommodate that.
accommodate that demographic, that market. So don't be shocked if you hear your girl singing Afrikaans. That's all I'm saying.
That's all the snacks that don't wait is. The Kanivachi.
Yeah,
All right.
it's gonna be fun.
I also want you maybe to give us an update. The march was happening on Saturday.
Yes. So
Saturday morning.
I literally came from the march straight to
Yeah.
the MTC gig. That's how back to back it was. We started at Katutu at 11. People were very punctual. Filled in the forms. People got masks that didn't have. Obviously, most people had. You got your red band. Look, red is the color for the pro-choice group. And we marched from Katutu to the Zoo Park. It was all peaceful. I think. Realistically, I think the police was a bit lenient because I think we did exceed the over 250. Although, the organizers started the online registration to kind of make sure that they stuck to the numbers. But I think people started joining
People
in.
rocked up, yeah.
This year. You can't always control the crowd. But for the most part, I think it was highly successful. We marched, it was peaceful. We had our voices heard. There were some good speeches, and you had some prominent people like Dr. Helena Ndume that was in the audience, and just also giving a background, as a doctor, some of the things she's had to witness. And she's saying, look, when you don't legalize abortion, it's not that it stops abortion from happening. It just makes it unsafe because abortions are still happening. And we need to start providing women with safe abortions because it's not going to stop. And she just gave her even the time she was in gynecology, how, for example, they lost 3 women. One became a cabbage, one something erupted because of illegal abortions.
Yeah.
And they
botched
lost
one.
Yeah, and they basically lost these women. And so there were people sharing the testimonies. Vicky Atoivo was there as well. So there were a lot of prominent people in society, I would say, that are actually supporting this. We had doctors there. We had politicians there. We had activists there from all movements, from different movements and coalitions. I think it was so peaceful that it was almost strange that people were trying to make it something it was not. I mean, we saw some things on Facebook the prostitutes are taken to the streets today, which is so weird because, I promise you, pro-choice people don't care for, labeling. You can label as anything at this point. It just...
I had to play masseuse afterwards. And my bro was like...
Was my bro daar?
Yeah. I walked to the zoo park from... Jy moet my bietjie kom vryf en hierso so 'n bietjie.
Ek het nie money, so ek het nie daai luxury gehad nie.
But I mean, Maria, you could have, just
What, come to
Let
your
us-
house to get your massage from
Just
you?
let us know if you had
No,
sore
I
legs.
want it from my loved one. I want that nice. I actually tried to book one at Solstice yesterday, but they were not picking up the phone. I need reflexology. But I'm going to go there. Yeah, but anyway, so wifey was there. I wish I knew how I would have... Anyway, like it was difficult to see people with masks.
Yeah.
But what was her opinion of it?
Like she said, it was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
It
I
was
think
really
it
good.
was, you know, when you come together with
Like
like-minded
the
people...
speakers,
Yeah.
it feels like a tribe. You know, you're not fighting people in that space because you're there for a common goal and for a common
Yeah.
purpose. So at least you already know where you meet these people. Like you meet them on certain principles, and it was nice.
Maria, what was the ratio in terms of men, women?
It was so. You know what? It's so we had. People from the LGBTQ, because you know everything is intersectional. You need to remember that there's also queer men that need this reproductive. Trans men that were born female but are trans men today. So that's also, and then we have even bisexual women and lesbian women as well. So there was a lot of community from the LGBTQ community that were there, and then we had a lot of white people, and then we had a lot of male allies. And then we had a lot of even elderly, the older generation, the Helena Dumes, the Vicky Atoivos, the women from 60 and above, and even older male, you know. It was such a salad, such a combination of different people.
Where is Sam Neoma these days?
That is.
Yeah.
How
so it was
could
interesting.
in Sam Neoma's time we would not allow?
I'll be very
such
surprised
things?
that I'm almost certain that the Kulu is also supporting abortion.
Recipients. You were working with recipients. Man.
Recipients. Stop.
No, but good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's cool. We are going to keep tracking that one. That is a conversation that's not going to go away. If you are a lawmaker, I think you must brace yourselves.
I mean,
you're
the
going to have
petition-
to deal with it one way or the other. Yeah.
The online petition now has garnered over 70,000. I don't recall any online petition by Namibians that has garnered that many signatures. In fact, tell me there hasn't been one. And it's still growing in momentum. Like over 70,000 in less than a month is very, very good for Namibian population.
Martin M. Utoni is saying there was a guy with a poster that said, "My uterus, my decision."
Yes, and I didn't like that because people wanted to make it like, what do you mean? It's called male allyship.
Yes.
The poster doesn't have to be about him and his womb. He's holding
he
a
can be
poster.
talking about, yes.
He's holding a poster as an ally to support women's rights. So guys try to make it an what is it? A banter.
It became worse because he had a Man United t-shirt.
Yeah, no, but it's like it became it became such a silly thing, you know,
Man
like
United fans, so
it became WhatsApp fodder, you know.
You know, I'm only seeing that now anyway. But in any case, that is what was happening with the pro-choice march on Saturday morning. Just a quick update on where we are as a country. You remember, we are still smack in the middle of a pandemic.
Bradley, relax toch. I said, I think.
On the 19th. The 19th was yesterday, right? Or was it Saturday? We reported 125 cases. As it stands, we have a total confirmed of 1,247, 35 recoveries, and 3 deaths. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The situation is, it's a quagmire and Balfour's by
Can I touch on that?
Please.
Because that, it is despicable what we're doing to each other. It is despicable. I was listening to the family of one of the deceased.
Yeah.
I was buried. There was a protest. They want to, first of all, there was this grave site it's a new grave site. So they're not necessarily burying people that have died of COVID-19 in different burial sites. This is a new burial site that had been already demarcated and identified before the COVID-19.
Okay.
So it's not just going to be for COVID patients, it's going to be for, any
Like,
death,
it's going to be the new graveyard.
It's going to
there.
be the new graveyard. It's been demarcated. It's identified. But, I mean, it's I wouldn't say too close. It's a short distance from, I think, Narraville.
Yeah, from Narraville.
And Narraville residents took up protests saying, first of all, the graveyard is too close to their homes. They don't want any COVID-19 or people that died of COVID-19 too close to their homes, and there was even threats to
exhume.
Yes, the body. Like, where is the humanity? First of all, I understand that we're operating from a place of misinformation because the body of COVID-19 is not the same as Ebola. You don't get infected by even touching it. It's not Ebola. So I know that communities are operating from a place of ignorance, but this is when then the relevant authorities need to come in and clarify. But also, why do we do this to ourselves as black people? Like, the family is mourning. They've lost their loved ones. And now on top of that, they have to deal with you and there's so much stigma around it. We cannot afford to stigmatize COVID-19 because all of us can potentially get it. All of us are potentially going to get it.
But it's a lack of information. When people don't have the right information, of course, they start clinging on to all these things that are floating around in the communities.
And that's what I agree with that. But what I'm saying is you don't need information to be black. Being a black person and knowing how oppression works, that's the only information you need to be a better human being. You don't need to be told, you understand what I mean? You can't just treat your brothers and sisters better.
But
you wouldn't want it to happen to you, even with little information.
But Maria, some of the sort of defense that comes from
the community,
the community basically says, the problem with that is they dig these graves, and the residents of Warfish Bay says, if you dig a certain level, water runs underneath, which would actually cause this body to actually float underneath. The graves are not being basically cemented out for it to be a proper structure where you can actually place a body or tune a body in where you know this body will stay in one place. What they also say is that the graves are too shallow. It would be easy for dogs to basically go, if they smell something,
and dig them up.
It would be easy for them to dig them up. I can't sit here and say it's a colored thing because it's close to Naravel. If it is a grave site that was basically allocated for future burial, then I just also do think that, you know what, the government or the municipality should have been a little bit more proactive in demarcating the area, first and foremost, which was not done. And in second place, if it is so that those bodies are buried in shallow graves and it's easier for dogs or anybody to actually exhume that body, it is a problem.
Yeah, but you're saying it like it's a problem, like we've been having this problem. There's been no reports over the years about shallow graves, bodies floating around, dogs getting to bodies, unless it was in cases, for example, what do you call it, backdoor, what do you call it?
Like a murder.
Baby dumping or murder, whatever.
Body,
In all of my years, and I went to school in Swakopmund, by the way, and even just my years in media, we've not been having reports of this fears, this so-called fears of the shallow graves and the bodies floating around and they're going to submerge and they're going to come up and whatever. It hasn't been happening. Why would it all of a sudden, why is it an issue now? I mean, the problem is people are hiding the actual agenda is against this COVID-19 body that was buried too close to the community of Naraba. That's the main issue. But obviously you will make it into something else.
Look, I don't know whether there really is. I don't know how far it is from the community. I don't even know how contagious a body would be. But the one thing that really sort of stuck with me was the manner in which people were allegedly being buried, as in the bodies were just being wrapped in plastic and just dumped in the hole.
No, I mean, no, that's not true.
That is one of the narratives that was circulating
if
whole weekend.
If the family can't afford a coffin,
yes,
okay, fine. The state doesn't provide coffins. If there's no money for coffins, that's how they're going to bury you. But let's not make it seem like this is a standard. It's like depends on family to family.
No, but I think if we were to bury a family member, we would be able to get even a cheap coffin. I don't think there's a family that would want any of their people to just be thrown in a hole.
But even the local authority has made it clear that they don't dictate on how you should be buried. If you want to be in a coffin, it's a coffin you're gonna get. You understand? And we know the Namibian cultures, and
nobody will sleep at night after just dumping a body in plastic and just dumping it in a hole.
Okay, but who are we directing that complaint to now? Is it the family? Are we saying to the family, you should have done better by this person?
To whoever is the one who's doing the burial.
Who is the complaint going to?
To the one who's doing the burial.
No, the person that's buried is just hired to dig a hole. Yeah, and the family buries the person.
No, like COVID victims, the state buries them.
I mean, guys,
no,
I've
seen, not.
I've seen the video.
The state is not burying COVID-19.
No, but that's the directive
is it not
that
the
they
state?
gave.
The
state is burying COVID-19
They're not
victims.
paying for it, but I'm saying the burial is up to the family, how that procedure goes. They're not paying for that. They will provide a grave.
Obviously at this area.
Yes, which I don't think people are paying for. Usually you pay for it at a municipality. So you're not paying for that. That is what is provided for.
But then what is the difference? Then that means...
Well, you're not paying for it.
Paying for the grave site?
Yes.
And that's what they mean by the state is burying the person.
Yes.
That is nonsense.
They're not providing coffins.
That is nonsense. These guys are incompetent. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but anyway, there was also the thing about why is the person being buried at night. I don't have information for why the person is being buried at night, but I suspect, and this is just my suspicions, please, I just think if there is stigma around, and we've heard of stigma that is happening in currently in Walfish Bay especially, and Sokomun to some degree, but really in Walfish Bay, there seems to be stigma around who has it, what families infected, Blade Fair Van Die family, Muni met die means is sick. There's a lot of the stigma that's happening. So I am assuming that perhaps people buried at night because
you want to avoid
scrutiny and being seen. That's my suspicion. I can't speak onto it, but I just don't like I was listening to the spokesperson of this family, and what he said was just heartbreaking, saying that, what they're dealing with, the family is mourning, and how they have to deal with the communities and the pushback from the community, the stigma, and even threats to, like I said, exhume the body and stuff like that. It's so wrong. Let the man rest easy. Gosh.
So the question is now, the first two bodies, were they both buried? Because it seems like at the second burial there was some pushback from the community that this person was eventually not buried or what?
Yeah.
Because this is what because I think the video that I saw, I think was Friday evening. Looked like the community of Naraval basically blocked off this area and said, you're not going to come and bury this man in this particular area.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure now, was this man buried, or what is the municipality's position at this moment in terms of this body? Because some of the video that I've seen showed this shallow grave that they basically refilled up again, showed some water, and even the person that was busy filming this thing,
not filming.
The man who was filming this thing showed and basically explained that, about the situation of the water running underneath. I have no idea what the situation is at the moment. Maybe people can obviously share a little bit more light to that.
Yeah.
So, but if it is like that in terms of the construction of these graves, that there's a challenge to it, then government is supposed to fix that.
I do believe. Look, for us, we can't change the fact that burials are very entrenched in who we are as people. So the state needs to do better. Like I said, we at last week tried to get information from Dr. Shangula, and he basically said it wasn't really the Ministry of Health. We would have to call the local authority to get more information on this. But it would be nice to get clear direction on what. But they've been very clear that they don't have a site. They're not going to bury COVID-19 deaths in one. It's not confined to we've demarcated an area where we're going to bury them and that's what's going to happen. They're not going to do that because the bodies are not infectious.
If we can just get rid of this tradition of ours, if we're so stuck in a time warp about certain traditions that we have, I think the easiest part would probably have been to cremate these bodies.
That's also what I was thinking.
But that's taboo for some people. I would love.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I would love to be cremated, but some families that's not even it's not even an option. I feel like families should. Yeah.
How can you burn him?
Burn the body. You're already gonna go burn in hell.
Yeah. But anyway, I think it always helps to equip yourself with information. And COVID-19, I know WHO is suggesting that perhaps like in countries where there is a huge surge of deaths, perhaps identify a place to bury, loved ones. But it's not a recommendation because because the bodies are infectious. It's just to make it easier for people that, because some countries are, it didn't Russia on one day report 6,000 deaths in one day?
Yeah.
Over in excess of 6,000. So for countries like that are experiencing like in one day, like it would be easier to just have one area and bury the people there. But I don't think Namibia is there. I don't think Namibia will ever get there.
We are having this squabbles over burial sites. You have countries where people are basically standing in the streets with their loved ones' bodies because the morgue is too full to come pick them up. There's not really any site where these people can be buried. In the state that State,
I'm even reading some countries doing mass burial.
Yes.
Basically set net the bodies and cover them.
I've seen some footage in Brazil in that regard.
Yeah, they're doing mass burials because they can't do it they can't dig like, say, 500 holes in one day just for the COVID. And then there's other deaths that are happening as well.
Once it's spoiled, goodness.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get some of the comments.
Last comment.
I can see Neville is excited. All right, there is a tradition of some Angolan people. If you are a witch, you must be buried at night, so you rest in peace, Kama. But like we hardly do burials at night, eh? I have never actually seen a burial at night.
No.
I've never either. It must be taboo.
Okay, a legal burial at night. Filming, aka filming. Okay. Maria is informed and right on a lot. Misinformed on COVID-19 burial procedures.
Please share them.
Jan
Jane, just for my own information.
Don't point out that she's incorrect. Just
I
correct her.
I could very well be wrong.
No,
tell me.
Just correct her. Don't point out her incorrectness. All right. Joplin Pegley Gontes. All right. COVID-19 actually is teaching us to take responsibility, but so many people see it as an opportunity to suck out I don't know what from the government. Asino Kambikiti, there is that's the one we read. Today the crew is misinformed about COVID-19 burials. Please read our comments inputs. Right? Where are they? Today I disagree with Mary on COVID-19 burial. Adolf Lori Pamo Shikongo. Where is the COVID-19 death victim from? Right? Did he have family, relatives in Walfish Bay? Did the family consent to his lonely burial? Or was the family present at all during the burial? Gladness Timothy is saying the World Health Organization has provided the plastic bags for burials. I'm assuming the plastic that the body is basically encased in is meant to stop the virus from spreading. I mean, if the body is contagious, I'm assuming that's why World Health Organization is. But then if that is the case, then why don't you wrap the person up in the plastic and then give the body to the family and let them do what they have to do? But in any case, Maria, in Africa, we don't bury our loved ones in the night. On scan, Franco Fimaneka. Rika Hwanekwaya and strongly wants to impose views. Please listen to the others, Mary. What is... Wait, I should...
What are you guys talking about?
Let me move up a bit.
Yes,
let me move
because I'm
up
not
a
even
little
sure
bit.
what you guys
Because I'm
are
also
talking
lost
about.
there. Sharks leave Manchester United alone. I don't know what that's about. Stay still and Neville's a fight stay. Roviera, Kama, stop unwanted baby mamas. Forward, abortion, forward.
We're not going back there.
Rivaldo Ronaldinho April saying yes, please. Why are they burying people at night? Why are they burying at night like a horror movie?
Can I ask something, guys? Please, it doesn't help us that all your comments are you are misinformed. I'm looking at them, and all of you are saying we are misinformed, which is good. We could very well be, but please tell us
Yes.
what are we misinformed about? It doesn't help that we're going back.
We are here to
learn. So,
collectively inform each other, because the three of us sitting here, we facilitate this platform so that we can share information. So if I'm wrong about something, don't just say Neville is dumb.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I'm misinformed about abortion or I'm misinformed about the burial. And if it's about the burial, please be very explicit in what you know or what has happened or what has transpired, really help, so that we can share the correct information. But to have 20 comments talking about we're wrong, but you're not telling us why we're wrong, it's not progressive.
All right. It's true, Maria, please, and it's the COVID-19 staff that do the burial, not the family. Mpepo Amtenya. Okay. The video where they blocked the second COVID-19
victim.
Yeah, there was a coffin in the car.
Okay.
Right, so the secondary victim, they were, I guess they were also in a coffin. The state is responsible for COVID-19 funerals. Maria,
including the coffin?
It just says funerals. I don't know. That's from Gladness Timothy. Maria is misinformed. That is not. Oh, you are misinformed. You are an informed miss, according to this sentence here. But anyway, do you even follow the updates from Shangula and his team?
It's my job to.
The gravesite is not expensive. Government must just stop already. That's what Robiera is saying. Good morning, people, from Manuel Kadondana. Mary, I retract your statement. Family will never have a night burial. But it happened. Did we say that the family wants to bury people at night?
No, I don't know, because I'm saying the comments are, there are a lot of comments, why did they bury the person at night?
Yeah.
So I said, this is my opinion, I don't know if it even happened at night, but you guys are saying it happened at night, so.
What about say Johan de Klerk?
Okay.
Ek wil net vra, sal die ministers ook so weggegooi word soos dit nou gedoen word met ons mense in Walvis oor COVID-19?
Good question.
What?
Will the ministers also be buried in the same fashion?
No, they'll have the mense gaan Heroes Acre.
Yeah.
They're going to the Heroes Acre.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I'm not clear on what I'm misinformed about. Okay, we're acknowledging that the state is going to bury people.
Let's keep it moving.
No, I would like to know, though. I really would like to know.
Otherwise, we're going to keep going around in circles. Josie Motinga, the only night burial can be if the mortuary fails the clients, all right? It happens, or it happened last year, whereby we buried at night because the body was giving a bad odor. Agboibo. My gratitude goes to Allah for making it possible for me to get cured from hepatitis B virus through the help of the doctor named Dr. Ogudu, who gave me Watira upendura kashatenya. Whether it's in isolation or at night, the family must be involved somehow. That's also what I would have thought.
That's what I'm saying. I understand it's the state that is paying for it, but you never can have a funeral without the family.
They say the state does the burial. Family doesn't have any input. The state decides on everything.
I don't think so. I think the family can choose the coffins. I don't think the family has a choice of where their loved one is buried, and maybe that's some of the pushback that is happening. But I do think like the family has some input on, for example, the coffin. If they want to put a stone up, obviously that will fall in their jurisdiction. If they want to have a little gathering, at the burial site, that would be because you would have to call in your church and your pastor and your people. So I think the picture that people want to portray, and in understanding this, that the state is doing the burial, is in people's minds is like there's a body gets thrown into a shallow grave, it's get buried, and it's done and over with. No, there's still a service. You can, as a family, still have a service and bury your loved one like you want to. The state getting involved, and it just means that there's no cost to you, meaning the graveyard. I'm not wrong about that. That I know for a fact. If you want to have your loved one in another type of coffin, I believe the family has input. Maybe it's just that the body will be in a plastic bag within the coffin. I don't really know even what the plastic bags are for, because they said the bodies are not contagious.
Yeah, I mean, he's not he's not coughing or sneezing anymore, so I don't know how.
Yeah, doctor of the CDC, what's his name? Doctor, we had him here in studio.
Oh yeah,
Dr. Juban.
Yeah, Juban has also said like bodies are not. It's not like Ebola. So bodies are not contagious.
Then why? Then why not let the families bury their people?
I think it's also expensive. You need it.
No, but like we bury people all the time. Those are expenses that we are sort of geared to handle with.
Yes, I understand, but I think it's an easier question now that there aren't many deaths. But imagine the deaths to come, and people are already struggling financially. And what happens to the people that don't have the money to bury? You know, because I know death is unexpected, but especially during this time.
Those that can afford.
Yeah, I do feel like they should kind of leave it also somehow to the families. I feel like the family should have a say, because some people want to bury their families close to their loved ones. You know,
some people already have burial sites earmarked for their families.
So I don't know. I don't know how far families can have a say in that process.
Yeah, that would be a good question to ask. If the family did put aside a specific grave over the years, if something should happen, can you basically bury your family member in that grave? Or is it now obviously this particular grave site, but as you do say, this grave site was already demarcated for future burials for the residents of Walfish Bay. So,
but the government must also just be clear, if they're gonna take a position on it, then they say no, families can't have a say over. Like, let's say the person was visiting from the north and they die in Walfish Bay, they're gonna have to be buried in Walfish Bay, and family cannot transport the body to Windhoek. Let's say that's what happens, right? And the state is very clear. Like, the family has almost no input on where the person is going to be buried. Like, they're going to identify a site, and that's what. If that becomes a slippery slope. Because then you're going to have to keep that same standard for everybody. That means if one of our leaders passes away, you're going to have to maintain that same standard. And you cannot make different rules for different people. Yeah. So I don't know what the rules are right now. I genuinely believe that the family has some input. Like I said, choosing a coffin and whatever, I don't think it's
somebody did say, they know one of the families, I guess, and the family did choose.
Yes, that's what I understand. That's, you're going to still have a normal burial, for your loved one. So
I'm not like that. I'm not so sure. I wouldn't go as far as to say that you would have even a service. I think
you can have a service.
It's possible, but there's so much. You see, the misinformation is what's causing all this chaos. For instance, even just quickly before we wrap it up, the community of Karasburg is also up in arms because of the
facility.
The quarantine facility, which is in the middle of, and all of these things are because of misinformation. People, I don't think everybody fully understands how the virus works, how it is transmitted. And I think people just wear a mask. And if somebody walks in the room and you're in that room, that means you're also sick. It seems like there's so much about this COVID-19 that people still don't understand. And it's going to keep causing things like this.
Yeah.
We're going to keep getting into arguments and fights like this because people are not properly informed. Yeah. Anyway.
Could you read that comment of Raymond Besson somewhere? But yeah, it's a little bit away from COVID-19.
Nepotism, come on. Lees die Basson se comment. Guys, did you see the loss of young lives this weekend because of racing with their fast cars? Please talk to your young sons and daughters that a car is not a thing to play with. It doesn't matter what type of car you are driving or how fast the car is.
Om Kalo Lewe. I have to to start that statement like that, because it is unfortunately something, especially within the young colored community, where drag racing and 2:00 in the morning type of speed happens. It is really, really unfortunate to see something like that.
Don't make it a colored issue. Even here, even my people, don't make it a colored issue. Young people generally, especially when you have certain type of wheels, it's usually a GTI or sorry, I don't know, I'm not good with cars. I think it's a GTI.
Yeah.
Vrpa.
The Vrpas. It's terrible. It's so bad. And most of these videos I've been seeing with the video, because they filmed themselves, has not even been colored. I'm not saying it doesn't affect colored, but I'm saying it's very, we shouldn't, it's not even just colors anymore.
Yeah, no, true. It's obviously just a generalized statement. But then again, you know what? With my sons, and it's one of the things that I keep on telling them at night, guys, be safe out there. Be safe out there. And why guys at that age, 21, 22, 23, want to drag race or dice, as they say. That time of the morning is just wow.
But like, look, it's not just the het jy nog nooit met elkaar gereed nie. Dis al verstaan. It's not just the young people. Of course, it's a young problem.
Yeah, it's a young problem,
especially these young guys with the fast cars. But like, from my understanding, there was nobody else on the road. Like,
no, there was nobody else.
So he was not dicing, or they were not dicing.
Apparently, they were dicing.
With who?
I have no idea. Obviously, if you dice with somebody, and they will obviously not reveal any. I mean, if nothing happened to the other car, they would not say anything.
They would just keep on driving.
I don't know about this incident, but to be honest, like the way I see it, it's not always a dicing incident. Yeah. Sometimes people just want to show how fast they can go.
Let me tell you what the common denominator is in all these things.
Cell phone, social, alcohol. Sometimes, not always, though.
Common denominator almost in every case, 90% of the cases. It may not be the alcohol that causes it, but the alcohol is involved.
Narina, September, Neville, please do not make racing a racial issue. It's not a race thing, it's a community issue for me.
Okay. Ek is nou weer uit die kompas uitgeslaan. Astrida Mwangala, yeah? Though the state have to bury people who die of COVID-19, preparation of burial site to be well prepared for humanity and giving last respect to the dead, mourners have to be comforted and bury their loved ones with dignity. Secondly, to stop stigmatizing everything that has to be done thoroughly. In fact, a dead body does not infect anyone while in the grave.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, very well said, Astrida. There should be some dignity. I don't know what, in this case, why it didn't. I don't even know what time it happened. Some people are saying 8 o'clock in the morning. Some people are saying it happened at night. I'm not even sure, because the commentators are contradicting each other, so I'm not sure. But yes, if it's, I'm not clear on why the family didn't get, why there wasn't a proper burial. If that was just the family's choice, or if they didn't have any say at all. But people should be allowed to bury their loved ones with dignity. We know this very well.
Ek moet chip.
Yes.
I get a 9:30.
Nee, ons gaan allemaal nou.
Ja, it's but 7 minutes.
No, I have to be at my meeting at 9:30. I can't leave the studio.
Waar gaan jy?
I have a business meeting.
Oh, it's business. It's geld. Maak vir ons, man. Maak geld vir ons. Ask me the one, the photographer.
Is it?
Yeah.
And this chaos right here is what we call the morning mix.
Yes.
Every single every single Monday, every single weekday.
Okay, never less to go, but we have to finish reading the comments. There's a lot of comments that we need
Okay,
to
guys.
get into.
Have a good Monday.
What's the comments on this list?
Just buy a comment.
It's the same thing that people are saying over and over again. They're saying you're wrong and we're right.
Maria, you are wrong.
Yes, I'm okay with being wrong, but read the comments. People put them out and they want to share those comments. Yes,
it is reported by the Namibian that they came from Club London and were racing with an Audi, which was found nowhere close to the accident scene. All right. Official epidemiological recommendation is just to triple bag the body before a normal burial. That's from Rian Steenkamp. Lopi Ndilimeke Gabas, you remember I said somebody was like, no, the family did choose the coffin, but then they're also saying they didn't have any other say, I guess.
So did they have some say or no say? This is what I'm saying. I'm also getting confused by
that's this. Maybe just clarify your thingy, your comments a little bit.
Or maybe it's a different. It's because there were two deaths. Could it be that it's two different incidences?
It's possible, yes.
Yeah.
Maximus Instigator, Holy Boy, there was a VW car that caused fatalities and the Audi, according to the reports. Okay, there was an Audi and a VW, and then the Audi, I guess, drove off when they saw what happened to the other car. Nadine, beautiful Joseph, listen, we don't need injections from China. Okay, thanks. China should go test on his country first. They also have the virus around on their own country. Okay, are we supposed to be getting Chinese vaccination or I don't know what that is about.
I don't know either.
I'm speechless even, but why burying at night though? You see, these are things that we have already addressed. Nerina, Eugenie, September, please, a normal burial at 8. That's 8 a.m., 8 in the morning.
That's what I'm saying. Friday. It's confusing. One is saying you can't bury at night, and then one is saying a burial at 800 hours, which is in the morning, is not normal. So now you're not clear if they buried in the morning or if they buried at night.
I think they meant to say maybe 2000 hours because it says at 8 on a Friday night.
Oh, okay. Well, 08 just in future, that's AM. It's not.
Yeah, 08 is in the morning.
08 is in the morning.
Unless you put a PM after it.
Yeah.
Then we're talking. But if you're using that army clock, it's 800 hours is in the morning. No, Maria, no, please, it happened. Family did not decide it's COVID-19 staff who buries you at night. Even it's taboo in Africa, only witches are buried at night. Watch the video of Walfish Bay for clarity. Who will bury a loved one at night? Semi-fly.
Oh, okay, so perhaps that's where they were, because I said it's probably my opinion that maybe they buried at night.
Yeah.
Now it's because they don't have a say. Okay.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be happening if the family. It should not be happening. It should not be happening.
Semi-fly, they said the virus stays on the lungs even when the person is dead. It is where they test if they are not sure of what killed the person. See what happened with the first death. Speaking of the first death, there is reports that that body is also said to be exhumed, and the Walfish Bay, I guess, local authority leaders have to find another burial site to bury COVID-19 victims. It's absolute chaos.
Why is it being exhumed?
I didn't read the full story. I read the
But that's
headline.
what.
But it's basically because of the dissatisfaction of the Naravel community.
But this is I think where people are conflating the two. I'm talking about that story because that's the family that I listen to. I think then people are talking about another burial. I didn't even know about a night burial.
The second
burial. I think people are I think people are confusing the two cases. I was talking on this specific case where there's been threats to exhume the body. That isn't that burial. The family didn't say anything about it happening at night. For that burial, I think maybe the second burial might have been at night. I don't know. I'm confused, but there's basically two burials.
But I think that the second burial did not go through. The community blocked it. So as of now, I think there is still only the first death that was buried and that is said to be exhumed according to reports. I mean,
the community succeeded in blocking a burial.
I think so.
That's weird.
It's like I said, misinformation is going to cause a lot of issues. And I mean, people are already stressed with everything else that's going on. This is just going to.
And I still maintain that that's just wrong. I'm sorry, guys. I can't change my stance. If families are going through something and this is how you want to treat them, like very inhumanely, that's just not on. It's just not acceptable. You can go around with it, but it's just not acceptable to treat people that are going through tough times like that.
I think Hilia Kambonde is saying maybe the authorities foresaw the community resistance and hence the night burials. They figured that the communities would be,
Could be.
Yeah, so they
But then
decide-
they're not realizing how taboo it is.
yeah.
Oh,
Which makes it another problem.
There's a
Oh
lot
my
of
God.
chaos happening there in the coast.
Gustavo, bail case, please. Elizabeth De Beer is saying, thank you for answering our concerns. Liva Hiskia, we are in a pandemic and we are under government regulations. Please let the people be informed what happened during pandemic. Unfortunately, in a pandemic, the government make all the decisions to save the nation. And if the whole world never allowed people to bury people, COVID-19 bodies, who are we? I'm not sure. I think you lost me somewhere there.
Whose comment is that?
Liva Hiskia.
We're in a pandemic and we're under government regulations. Please let the people be informed what happened during pandemic. And I think the person is arguing for government. Is the person arguing for government?
I guess so. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Yeah, it's for the state. Yeah, that's what I understand. But okay, I know. Yeah. All right.
I think I think that we should call it a day. What an interesting morning.
It's Monday.
Yes, it is Monday.
Have a long week ahead.
Mr. Ricardo Gustavo is appearing in court.
I'm not even aware.
I saw. Yeah, Ed's properties to new bail offer. That's probably something that's going to be happening during the course of this week. We're also going to want to look at what is happening at the Namibia Football Association with the expulsion of the Namibia Premier League over the weekend. Something we're going to tackle during the course of the week. There's just so much making
maybe
news.
Tomorrow we'll get a little bit into Kanye West. He finally ran his president.
Yeah, and
yeah. So there's a third death now, so we're gonna get perhaps more information
on that as well. Yeah.
On that, and then let's see. Joh, maar julle mense vandag julle irriteer me.
Kom ons gaan. Alright guys, enjoy the rest of the Monday.
I heard you the first 20 times. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We are back again tomorrow. Make sure you can. And also don't forget, between 12 and 1, you can catch the hour. That's live streaming with Tatenawanes and Mr. Kaufman, or Kaufi, if you will. It's going to be live on Informanté Radio's Facebook page as well. You can check that out. We're out.
We're out.
Every day we bring you the hottest music. The ultimate music some outrageous conversations.
I know a few alleged drug dealers.
This is not a drug conversation.
And I'm not.
This was.
No drug slender will be accepted.
You will not come play snitch here on the show. Disclaimer: I don't know anything about drugs. I don't know any drug dealers.
I know.
I just want to talk about witchcraft.
Let's get to the real thing. The Morning Mix on Informanté Radio. The sound for a new age.